Hello everyone and welcome back to 5 Tips in 5 Minutes. This week, difficult conversations. No matter how experienced or senior we are, lots of leaders and managers dread difficult conversations. You know the conversations where you have to pick someone up on what they said or did, you have to deliver bad news, or you have to tell someone that their performance has to improve. As an inclusive leader, how do you do that whilst maintaining psychological safety? Here's my 5 tips for having psychologically safe, difficult conversations. Tip 1 is build trust. If you barely say hello to your team members every day, you're not going to have enough trust to have a sensitive conversation in an open, frank, constructive way. You need to really get to know each of your line reports. What matters to them? What do they like doing? What don't they like doing? What do they want from their career, from their life? And trust is two-way. You need to be vulnerable yourself and do it authentically. So don't say, oh, I know what it feels like to be an outsider, when the last time you felt like an outsider was when you were the last one to be picked for the PE team when you were 12 years old. Sure, find a relatable experience that will help you understand them better, but make sure it's relatable for them too. Which leads me on to tip 2. De-center yourself. How can you stay calm and positive even when you don't feel it? By remembering that it's not about you. You may be feeling exasperated or nervous about what you have to say. You might have written a whole script in your head, but scripts only play out the way they're supposed to on the stage or in a film. The focus is on your team member. How can you have a conversation with them in a way that will get the best result? Tip 3, demonstrate unconditional positive regard. This is about separating the performance or the issue from the person. Make it clear from your tone of voice and your body language that you see them as fundamentally okay, that you value them as a person. And of course, this is much easier to do when you've put the time and effort into building trust. So you might say, it feels like your engagement's dropped recently, rather than, why have you checked out? And point out the specific issue or behaviour rather than labelling the person. So you would say, making jokes about women drivers isn't funny to women and it's disrespectful, rather than, all your female colleagues think you're sexist. Tip 4. Don't ask why. Why is a word that takes us straight back to school, straight back to our childhood, and it gets our defences up straight away. Why didn't you hit your productivity target last month? Why did we lose that huge client? It feels accusatory. Try using what and how. What happened? How can we put it right? How can I help you to do that? That's a more curious, neutral way to open up the conversation and encourage the person you're talking to be more open with you. Tip 5, offer their version of support, not yours. Your team's success is your success. If you leave them feeling scared and anxious, that's not likely to improve anything, and it reflects on you as a leader. Obviously, you can be honest. You can say, I am worried about this, but I will do everything I can to support you. How can I support you? And then do what they ask. If it's a performance issue, you might think checking in with them every day is helpful. They might not. That's what you want. And obviously there's a spectrum to this. You might need to compromise. If they say, oh, check in with me in a month, you might say, I'd be more comfortable checking in with you weekly if that's okay. And tell them what you want to cover at those check-ins and ask how you can support them in the meantime. And finish a conversation by asking, how do you feel about that? Listen, reassure, let them know you have their back. In the words of Sonali De Silva, inclusive leadership allows people to put down their armour and pick up their courage. And mutual trust is the foundation of all of that. That's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.